Let's now shift focus to China. What's happening there? The Chinese president is waging a war on China's financial industry, cracking down on one Chinese bank after another. Why is that? China's banks and insurers have become the latest target of Xi Jinping's sweeping anti-corruption crackdown. Throughout the last 3 months, in fact, China's top anti-graft agency, the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection, has investigated over a dozen senior executives, officials running the most important financial institutions in the country. The names of 3 of them stand out. Li Xiaopeng, the former chairman of China's Everbright Group, one of the country's oldest and largest state-owned financial conglomerates. Liu Liange, the former chairman of the state-owned Bank of China, the country's 4th largest lender, and Wang Bin, the former head of the state-owned China Life Insurance. Let's start with Li Xiaoping. On Wednesday, he was put under investigation. Why is that? For quote-unquote disciplinary violations. What sort of violations? The commission did not disclose any further details, but the fact that it is involved suggests that the accusations against Li are serious. You see, 6 days back, something similar happened with Liu Liange, the former chief of the Bank of China. In February, the 62-year-old was abruptly removed from his post as chairman and party chief at the leading state-owned lender. In March, he was put under investigation by China's top anti-corruption body. What for? Well, the 62-year-old is suspected of serious violations of discipline and law, the usual euphemism for corruption in China, and he is apparently undergoing disciplinary review and supervisory investigation. This, by the way, is according to a joint statement by the National Supervision Commission and the Central Commission for Discipline Inspection. Next, we have Wang Bin, the former chairman of China Life Insurance. In January this year, he was officially charged with taking bribes and concealing overseas deposits. He was accused of taking advantage of the various positions he has held as vice president of the Jiangxi branch of the Agricultural Development Bank of China, as president and vice president of the Beijing branch of the Bank of Communications, and as the chairman of China Life Insurance. The 64-year-old is also accused of concealing large deposits he made into overseas bank accounts. So in 4 months, 3 top executives have been sacked and subjected to a corruption probe. What does that tell you? How should we view this? And what really is China up to? What's going on? We don't know, but reports saying that in the days ahead, this crackdown could intensify. Have a look at this report now. Last week, the CCDI announced that it would be inspecting more than 30 major state-owned firms. 30 of them. They include financial giants such as China Investment Corp, the nation's sovereign wealth fund, China Development Bank, which provides financing for key government projects, and Agricultural Bank of China, another large state-controlled lender. Now remember, this crackdown comes just days after Xi Jinping secured a historic 3rd term. Immediately after this, he stacked his top team with Communist Party loyalists, and then he moved on to consolidate the party's hold over the economy. Now that said, this crackdown raises some serious questions. Questions on the integrity of Chinese banks. How corrupt are they really? Well, financial observers saying that they are as corrupt as it gets. You heard that right. You see, most of the banks in China are state-owned, which means most of the decisions are not taken by financial experts, but politicians. And as a result, They end up lending money to financial institutions or companies that have close ties with the government officials. And this does not necessarily mean that these companies are equipped enough to repay the money that they take. This leads to less scrutiny, less accountability, and more corruption. What does that tell you? That Beijing may snare some bad apples in its latest rectification campaign. But you see, the rot at the core of the financial sector still needs a stronger medicine. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the updates on the move.